Hello and welcome to lockdown. So after the news last night, I just want to say to people, the Maths Mum and what I'm doing here is not basically saying, you must go and work with your children and you must do homeschool and get the education there and every day. What I'm actually here is basically saying, look, we're all in the same boat. I know a little bit more about how maths is taught in schools today to make it a little bit more familiar for you, to mean that when and if you are doing some work with your children at home, you can make it sound as close to what is happening in the school environment to make your children more comfortable. I think that's key at the moment, is to make sure that our children are comfortable, and it is a tough time for adults to understand exactly what's going on, let alone children. So let's do our best to keep them comfortable. I'm doing my bit because this is keeping me sane in the insanity that is happening all around me. So I'm doing my bit, and this is what I can do. I'm not an NHS person, but I'm supporting all of those who are going out and doing the work that's needed at the moment, whether you're driving, whether you're a GP, whether you're in frontline in A&E, you're doing an amazing job. Anyway, getting back to the point at hand, not on my soapbox. Today's video is about addition and subtraction. And this is probably the most important video that if you have a child in reception, year 1, year 2 or year 3, it's going to be for you. The reason for that is there was a change in the curriculum a while back, and things look very different with regard to addition and subtraction and how they're taught in schools. And it is hugely important that you understand the building blocks that our children go through to get to the point that we understand. We do, and we were taught addition and subtraction using what they call formal columnar method. That is introduced at year 3. So that means reception year, year 1, year 2 and year 3, the methods they use for addition and subtraction are new to us. We haven't seen them before, okay? That's not to say that the way that maths is taught today is any harder. It's actually brilliantly basic, because they give the children the building blocks to understanding it better. So in fact, our children, when they get to do columnar addition and subtraction, understand it much better than we did. And the problem with that is, because they understand it better, it means that our deficiencies, shall we just say, are highlighted. So what I'm going to take you through today is the step-by-step approach, not year by year, but the step-by-step approach that children will use when it comes to addition and subtraction, using my concrete tools. Again, you'll see some of these from the maths aids, and also using my trusty whiteboard for some demonstrations. Okay, so first things first, addition and subtraction. We've done numbers. Addition and subtraction is a progression, okay? It starts quite simple with 1 digit and 1 digit. It moves through a sequence of kind of levels, and it keeps getting harder, keeps getting bigger numbers, keeps getting more methodology to what they're doing. But first things first, when you start doing simple addition, you are using things. You are saying, I've got 5 plus 2. Yeah, how many have I got? And children will start by counting. So they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, yes, you've got 5. How many have you got? 5, okay, and I need to add 2. How many have I got? What you hope is at that point the child remembers they've got 5 and they start counting on 6, 7. I've got 7 in total. And the same for subtraction, okay? Sorry, that's my coffee machine just going off. I haven't actually had my coffee yet. I'm doing this before coffee. This is great. Right, so I have 7, okay, and I need to subtract 2. Okay, I take 2 away. 1, 2. How many have I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I've got 5 left. At reception, year 1, that is what they're doing. They'll be doing it with counters, they'll be doing it with deans, they'll be doing it with objects, they'll be doing it with apples. You have got any amount of things. Go into your playroom, get bricks, get cars, get Lego blocks. You've got any amount of things that you can take out and do basically reception and year 1 basic maths with. Okay, the next thing, when it gets a little bit harder, so when you're looking at 2-digit numbers, yeah, one of the methods that they use is the number line. Okay, so here we have my 0 to 100 number line. You have got your ability in the maths aids to make these, or you can use a tape measure or ruler. But the idea behind this is if I just take my example 16 plus 5, they locate 16 on the number line and they count on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is 21. Again, very simple approach to addition, counting on. It's the same with subtraction. So if I have 26 minus 12, how I might do that is when I've learned how to count backwards in tens, I might start by going, well, 12 is 10 and a 2. So what I'll do from 26, I'll take 10 off, I'll go to 16, and then I'll take 2 off. 1, 2, and I get to 14. Okay, so this is understanding that place value. This is understanding that 12 is 1 10 and 2 1s. So instead of counting back 12, the quicker way of doing it is to count back in 10 and then 2. A lot of children have obviously mastered the art of addition but find subtraction harder. One of the key things I would be asking you to do is check to see whether the child can count back in tens from any number. So not 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, but taking a number like 46 and saying, what's 10 less than? Can you count back in tens from 46? 46, 36, 26, 16, 6. Okay? And if you're in year 5, I expect you to go negative. So that is how you use a number line to do addition and subtraction. Right, I've got my coffee now. Okay, so we've done counting, we've done number line. The other thing to talk about is number bonds. I've put my Numicon up to show you number bonds, but number bonds are effectively things that make 10. They're the building blocks for all addition. And let me explain why. If I were to say to you 7 plus 5 plus 3, the majority amongst us will identify that 7 and 3 make 10 and do the simple 10 plus 5 is 15. Some won't, some will do it another way, but the majority of us will identify that 7 and 3 make 10. That is indeed a number bond to 10. It's basically recognising how to make 10 quickly. When we see numbers that make 10 quickly, it makes the maths easier. So they learn number bonds using Numicon and things like that. So that is a 10, and what they do is they do things like this. So they can see that 4 and 6 make 10. And the number bond relationship is the number bond between the 4 and the 6 and the 10. And they look at it and learn it in different ways, in the sense of 4 plus 6 equals 10, which also means 10 minus 4 equals 6, or 10 minus 6 equals 4. It's actually that entire relationship between those three numbers, that when you see a 4 and 6 together, you automatically think 10. When you see a 10 and 4 together, you automatically think 6. Okay, so that is what number bonds are. And obviously once they do number bonds to 10, they move on to number bonds to 20. So looking at 11 and 9, 12 and 8. So you can see it's the number bond to 10 plus another 10 unit in there. So, and children quite quickly get that concept. They also do number bonds to 100. Number bonds to 100 being just the 0 added on. So it's 80 and 20, 70 and 30, 60 and 40. Okay, but the number bonds are something that once consolidated and once children get them, it means maths becomes easier when it becomes harder, because they identify the quick ways to do that. Okay, so those are number bonds. So we have demonstrated counting, number line, number bonds. So when maths gets when the addition and subtraction get into 2-digit numbers, we start looking at another way, which kind of builds on everything that we've done, but we look at partitioning.